Michiganders can be a superstitious bunch. We find all sorts of reasons to explain the world around us, sometimes pulling from science, sometimes tradition, and sometimes from our imaginations. What happens when we can't readily explain our experiences? And what happens when a ghost story gets out of hand? Do these legends stem entirely from fantasy? Or are people seeing things no one can truly explain? I'm Crysta K. Coburn.
And I'm Kay Gray. Welcome to Haunted Mitten.
Welcome to part 2 of our dive into the Henry Ford and Greenfield village located in Dearborn, Michigan. There is obviously a ton of history here. It's the reason Henry Ford created them after all, but there are also a lot of weird stories. And we're not just talking hauntings in this episode. We covered a lot of the history of both the village and the indoor museum in the last episode, but that doesn't mean there won't be history in this one too, just history of a different kind. You'll understand when we get there.
Or you won't. You might not.
Or you'll be just as confused.
Yep.
more confused. Mileage may vary.
So there are a lot of creepy artifacts owned by the Henry Ford. A toy clown from Humpty Dumpty Circus from 1923 to 1930. Toy coffin and doll from 1870 to 1900. Life mask of Abraham Lincoln by Clark Mills. Rocking chair used by Abraham Lincoln at Ford's Theater the night of his assassination, April 14th, 1865. Yeah, that's right. They have the chair that President Lincoln was sitting in when he was shot by John Wilkes Booth. It still has blood on it.
Yeah, they did testing. It's blood.
Yeah. Cool. Ugh. It is. It's weird to look at. It's very strange.
Oh,
yeah. There it's that chair.
Mm-hmm.
They also have the car President John F. Kennedy was riding in when he was shot on November 22nd, 1963. No blood on that one, though, because they freaking reused the car. Mm-hmm. Is it any wonder that people believe these objects are haunted?
It's a little less weird to look at the car because it's been so modified.
Right. They put a top on it like it probably should have had from the beginning.
Yep. They armored the heck out of that car.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah. It was the car that Nixon used.
Mm-hmm. So regarding the Lincoln chair, and quoting from the Henry Ford's website, quote, "The comfortable parlor rocker had been placed in the theater box by the manager of Ford's Theater for Lincoln's use that evening. After his assassination, enterprising photographers sold pictures of the chair to a public eager for images in an age before photojournalism. The chair was used as evidence in the trial of the conspirators. Then it languished in storage at the Smithsonian Institution for decades." End quote.
What the hell would that... Why do we need this chair for evidence?
I don't know. See, he was shot at the theater. That's where we got the chair from.
It was right there. Like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, I thought that was very strange that they used it as evidence.
That's weird. Okay.
There were witnesses, lots of them. Many. Everyone in the theater.
Yeah.
But no.
No.
Okay. Needed the chair.
Okay. Sure. Why not? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. At least they didn't say anything about the chair needed for testimony. I'd have more questions.
Yes.
People have reported seeing the apparition of President Lincoln sitting and rocking. According to the Afraid-ish podcast, I like that name.
Yes.
Me too. I'm afraid-ish. Not really, but like kind of. People who have sat in or just touched the Lincoln chair have reported feelings of intense dread, nausea, and seeing dark shapes looming over them. This is just one of many places that Lincoln is claimed to haunt. So my thought is that this may be a residual haunting or like a manifestation of trauma of that moment. As we said, there's still blood on the chair.
Yeah.
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 I mean, so they do always say, yeah, Lincoln gets around. But no, I think probably, quite possibly,
yeah,
residual haunting. Because Yeah, a great deal of trauma has been put into this object.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even have any other words for it. I'm just like, yeah.
Yep. Yep. Sure has. And the fact that they let people sit in it for so long is just
That's
why?
crazy pants.
That's weird.
Why would you do that? Why would you do
Because people are morbid.
that? Yes.
It's
yeah.
just the truth.
People have always loved crime.
Yep.
True crime has always been a thing.
And he was so famous.
And he was so famous. I mean, yes, if you gave me the opportunity to sit in the chair that Lincoln was shot in, would I take it? Yes, absolutely. 100% I would sit in that chair. But it's weird that you would offer it to me in the first place.
Yeah, and like that they were offering photos of the chair immediately, like as soon as it happened.
Oh,
People were
yeah.
snapping up those pics, man.
Oh, yeah.
Gross. I can't imagine. Looking at it now, like you can see the blood.
Right. But we are so far
ooh.
removed, it just looks like an old.
Yeah, it just kind of looks like an old stained chair.
Yeah.
But yeah, fresh at the time, like, ooh, man, that's gruesome.
Yeah.
So as for the Kennedy car, it is a 1961 Lincoln Continental four-door convertible that was nicknamed X100 by the Secret Service.
Why?
I don't know. They like their fancy names, but I don't know why X100.
Like an X-Man? Like, what?
Yeah.
All right.
Per the Henry Ford's website, quote, Ford Motor Company assembled the car at its Lincoln plant in Wixom, Michigan in January 1961. Great, it was at Lincoln. Hassan Eisenhart of Cincinnati, Ohio, was responsible for customizing the car to function as a presidential parade limousine, literally cutting it in half, reinforcing it and setting it 3.5 feet in length, and making numerous other modifications. Ford Motor Company and Hess and Eisenhart collaborated on engineering and styling. It debuted at the White House in June 1961. The car remained the property of the Ford Motor Company, which leased it to the Secret Service for the nominal price of $500 per year.
That's freaking capitalism for you.
I was like, those are fun little details I had to share with people.
I did think, because I've been to that, like I've seen it. I did think that it looked really long, even for 1960s cars.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be why, because they extended it 3.5 feet.
Yes.
Yeah. Also,
like,
explain how they could fit, how they fit all of those people in there for the motorcade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, there's a lot of people there.
Are there 6 people in it?
Something like that.
I don't remember.
But yeah, unusual for a car at the time.
After JFK's assassination, the car was modified in several ways to make it more secure. And again, per the museum's website, quote, although the presidential parade cars were built in 1968 and 1972, it was used occasionally by Presidents Johnson, Nixon, Ford, and Carter. The X100 remained in service until early 1977, end quote. What the hell?
They reinforced it. It's fine.
Oh my God.
Nobody else got shot in it.
You're like, God, there are bad vibes in this car.
I do think it is unusual, a little unusual that they reused it. It's practical. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the car, but obviously something wrong with its design because it was an open top. But it was fine to be used.
Yes, it was fine, but still. No!
But yeah, it seems strange. Like Lincoln's chair, they didn't just like put it back into service. They were like, this chair is sacred.
Yeah.
And it's going to the Smithsonian. Like,
right?
But no, they used it until 1977.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That had to be a President Johnson thing.
Quite possibly.
He fucking
It's still good.
Kennedy.
It's still good. Or maybe he just liked driving around in Kennedy's death car.
He might have. Ooh, conspiracies.
He was a weird guy, man.
To say the least. Panicked. God damn it.
I know. I forget what it stands for. It was in the last episode.
It wasn't. Go listen to the last episode if you want to know what panicked acronym stands for. Our Haunted Travels YouTube channel says that a museum guest claimed to see a man standing next to the Kennedy car. The man said, quote, there was more than one shooter, end quote. Then he disappeared. Visitors have also reported, quote, seeing an apparition dressed in gray standing beside the car, particularly in late November, end quote. So if you visit the Henry Ford around November 22nd, pay careful attention to the people around the Kennedy car. That's all we're saying.
Yep. And I've heard both of these stories before.
Yeah.
So these stories have been around for a while. Afraidish mentioned a couple of brief stories that I thought were interesting and wanted to mention. People have often reported seeing Henry Ford near his favorite exhibits. Don't know which ones those are.
Nope.
Or walking the grounds at night. Employees say that he is still watching over his enduring project. You may just change your feelings on that at the end of this episode. And a shadowy figure was seen sitting on the Rosa Parks bus. The bus is also said to have a quote unquote eerie aura. I find it interesting how scary people find the bus. This was mentioned in a lot of different places. And it was the location, of a woman's incredibly brave act and part of one of the most important movements in US history. And people find it scary. Is it more like intimidating and that's interpreted as fear?
I'm going to say intimidating because it's a very large vehicle.
It is.
Indoors in a place you would not find such a thing normally.
And it looks different than a modern bus.
Yes. I found it intimidating. I was also scared to death to be around all the train engines that they have there.
Oh,
because
so big.
of how massive they are.
They are massive.
That's the first time I'd ever seen like an old-timey train engine up close because you could like climb on them and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember the bus. This was maybe 3 years ago. When did I go to the Henry Ford? Oh my god. Yeah, we were still masked, so it must have been 3 or 4 years ago. And it is just like, and I remember walking up to it and seeing the front of it because it's an old-timey 60s bus, right? So
Yeah.
it's all steel, first of all. It's got the big flat front. It's got two windshields that just basically look like big gaping eyes. And it's grill in the front, which is mouth-like. So it looks kind of anthropomorphic. Yeah, I remember being intimidated. I wouldn't call it fear. I would just call it, oh my god, that's a fucking huge bus in this building.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
we've already established I'm not easily intimidated, so
that is true. That is very true. Those trains though, man, they're terrifying.
They're very large. Yeah, no,
they're so big.
Definitely, yeah.
You know how much we love Michigan-made LynBDesigns 5 free vegan nail polish. Now we can all further pamper ourselves with scented cuticle oils, a quick absorbing and moisturizing blend of jojoba and grapeseed oils with vitamin E and perfume. Wrap yourself in the delicious aromas of chai spice, pistachio dream, fall vibes, or gummy bears if you're feeling sweet. Peruse all the new scents at LynBDesigns.store. Once again, that is LynBDesigns.store. We love you. I own so many of your nail polishes. Thank you. And now for something a little different. In our last episode, we mentioned some personal stories of ghostly happenings around Greenfield Village, which were your usual signs of a haunting, phantom footsteps, apparitions, that kind of thing. This story is from Passion for the Past, the great history blog that many of the stories we talked about came from. This incident was told by a village employee and is about a little girl who was riding the train in the village with her parents. As they passed the Daggett house, she began to cry and declared that she wanted to visit that house. When they exited the train on the other side of the village, she ran all the way back to the house. When she arrived at the house, she quote, exclaimed that she was Anna and she used to live in this house, end quote.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to quote from Passion for the Past, but I did want to add real quick that I tried to track down the story myself in the research library and I was not able to find it. That does not mean it isn't there.
Right.
I just had trouble navigating what they have online. There's a lot in this library. Like you can go into some deep dives pretty easily.
Yeah.
So, quote, now there is a related story I found in the Benson Ford Research Library about a young girl who, while visiting Greenfield Village with her mother and father, suddenly took off running, her surprised parents struggling to keep up. She crossed the entire village knowing exactly where she wanted to go. As she came upon the Daggett house, she darted in and went directly to the quote unquote artifact room. He says, I'm assuming the formal parlor. And after surveying the collection, exclaimed, oh, good, they have the furniture arranged just as it should be. Her parents and the building docent stood dumbfounded, for the collection of furniture was willed to the Henry Ford upon the death of an elderly woman. Her only stipulation? That the furniture be housed specifically as she wished. End quote. He does go on to then wonder if the little girl was not Anna, as the previous story, but, quote, Mrs. Dana Wells, the woman who contributed the Daggett house and furnishings to Greenfield Village, end quote.
All right. Hell yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Like, interesting little, not ghost story, but reincarnation story. Still weird. Still odd.
Still a very good segue into what we're about to talk about.
Yep, that's why I put it in this episode.
All right, Michighouls. It's Kay's turn, and you know what happens when it's Kay's turn.
We're gonna learn some weird stuff.
We get to talk about the really fun stuff. So, let's talk about Henry Ford and reincarnation. First, let me tell you how I even got on this subject. At the Chicago Steampunk Exposition last year, 2025.
I know,
Oh
I'm
God.
still adjusting for the time change.
Okay. Okay. 2025. I met a very interesting man. I'm going to leave his name out, but he made some wild claims while I was holding down the fort at the Haunted Mitten booth. By the way, check us out this coming June at Chicago Steampunk Exposition. We're doing 2 panels. We have a booth. It's going to be great. He says he was part of the Coast Guard and also stationed at the Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center, also known as the headquarters of FEMA in Virginia. So we've already got conspiracy theories around that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a person by the name I was given who was pretty high up in FEMA from 2015 to 2023. So at least I have some threads of truth, and I am totally fine with that. Good enough for me.
There's some corroborating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He started me down this path, choosing unassuming little old me to spout these ideas at. And fair enough, I am always down to listen to crazy ideas. The wilder, the better. With, like, exceptions. Don't come at me with your anti-Semitic bullshit. Anyway. He told me that Henry Ford believed in reincarnation. And this is fact. Henry Ford spoke about it a few times, including to several Hearst-owned papers and magazines. So, yeah, take that how you will. The inventor of yellow journalism. Good God.
Hearst, yeah.
But this wasn't some secret that he kept buried, unlike a few of his other inventor friends that we'll talk about later. Though these days you're more likely to find articles on how Elon Musk is the reincarnation of Ford or Edison than articles about those men themselves, because the internet sucks.
Correct.
Because, man, it was really hard to find the stuff I needed, because it's just full of that bullshit.
Yeah, there's too much out there.
Here is a quote from Ford from the San Francisco Examiner on August 26th, 1928.
Quote, I adopted the theory of reincarnation when I was 26. Religion offered nothing to the point. Even work could not give me complete satisfaction. Work is futile if we cannot utilize the experience we collect in one life in the next. When I discovered reincarnation, it was as if I had found a universe plan. I realized that there was a chance to work out my ideas. Time was no longer limited. I was no longer a slave to the hands of the clock. Genius is experience. Some seem to think that it is a gift or talent, but it is the fruit of long experience in many lives. Some are older souls than others, and so they know more. The discovery of reincarnation put my mind at ease. If you preserve a record of this conversation, write it so that it puts men's minds at ease. I would like to communicate to others the calmness that the long view of life gives to us. End quote.
And he told Time magazine,
quote, I got the idea from a book by Orlando Smith. Until I discovered this theory, I was unsettled and dissatisfied, without a compass, so to speak. Somewhere there is a mastermind which sends brainwaves or messages to us, the brain of mankind, the brain of the earth. There's a great spirit, call it creative evolution or world mind, call it collective intelligence or call it God. It is this spirit which determines our actions and our thoughts. End quote.
That book by Orlando Smith, by the way, is called A Short View of Great Questions, published in 1899. And yes, it is online through Hathi Trust if you're crazy like I am and want to check it out.
Yeah, do it.
I haven't made it that far through it yet. Um,
Excellent.
it's how you might expect a book on reincarnation written in 1899 by a guy named Orlando Smith would be.
I definitely have an idea. Yep.
So even better, I think, is that Ford is featured in a book by the late cult leader Elizabeth Clare Prophet as someone who has the ability, I guess, to reincarnate 9 times. The book is called 9 Cats, 9 Lives, Influential People and Their Past Lives. It might have been at Crazy Wisdom at some point. As you can imagine, it is not filled with anything remotely fact-based, except that Ford and maybe those other folks believed in reincarnation. And it was published in 2021 when Prophet died in 2009. This book is a stretched out version of a sermon she gave in 1992. However, I do feel the need to quote from this book because of how bonkers it is. The opening lines of the Henry Ford chapter are,
quote, Henry Ford lived in Atlantis. So did most Americans, if you believe the evidence of past life regressions. End quote.
No, Liz, we don't. That shit has been proven to be completely false and incredibly harmful. However, she also takes the titan of industry to task, writing,
quote, as with most souls, Henry Ford's problems can be traced back thousands of years. End quote.
apparently, his first life was in 32,000 BCE, where he lived a nomadic life, was captured by a rival tribe, and was basically a slave until he got too old to be useful, and was left outside camp to be, quote, eaten by wild beasts, end quote. You would think with that start he would have been way more sympathetic to people of color, but nope.
Nope.
And of course, how could I forget such a classic line as,
quote, Henry Ford didn't know much about history. He thought the American Revolution was fought in 1812. End quote.
Funnily enough, that's kind of true. Ford did mistake the Revolution with the War of 1812 in a 1919 libel suit in court, but he didn't actually believe it. Nice try, Liz. Oh, and the book does make sure to say, repeatedly, that Ford had not been reincarnated as of 1992 when that sermon was given.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, don't, that was fun, but don't read that book. Do read the article about that book from 1-900 Hot Dog, the best comedy website since crack.com got bought out and became terrible.
All right, good to know.
It's a good website for some fun reads. And as I'm sure we could have guessed, Henry Ford was friends with all the big time names of his era. Edison, Firestone, Lindbergh, you name them, he knew them.
Yeah, and then he took their stuff. Like the Firestone Farm, the Edison Lab. You can go visit them at Henry Ford.
Oh, they died, take their shit.
Yep.
So these guys probably hung out and did some weird, illegal, racist things like all rich men do. But we're only focused on the weird today. And that weird thing was building a reincarnation portal for him and his rich friends.
Like you do.
Just when you get together on a Sunday afternoon and play games, have drinks, and build a reincarnation portal.
Yep.
According to my source, which is something I have always wanted to say, Ford and friends, namely Thomas Edison, designed and built Greenfield Village to act as what I have termed a constant for them as they reincarnated. The village acts as a vortex, drawing in the reincarnated to it. It would look and feel the same with every generation, so that they would have somewhere to meet that would feel like home. Presumably, they would be meeting to talk about how kids these days have no respect. He isn't the only great man, quote unquote, of his time to believe in reincarnation either, as I hinted at. Thomas Edison believed. He was also really into the idea of there being more to the world than just what someone could see with their eyes. He told Forbes magazine,
quote, I can no more doubt the existence of an intelligence that is running things than I do the existence of myself. End quote.
His ideas, however, were closer to midichlorians from the Star Wars prequels than anything too ethereal. The body, he said, contained, quote, myriads and myriads of infinitesimally small individuals, each in itself a unit of life, end quote. They worked together in quote unquote swarms that carried on eternally. From Forbes again.
Quote, when a person dies, Edison asserted, the swarms would take form elsewhere, going on to function in some other environment or vessel. Certain swarms, he theorized, did most of the thinking and directing, much like bosses or leaders do among humans. End quote.
And then he got real eugenics with it, thinking these swarms are what gave certain people more intellect, drive, what have you, than others. So, there's that.
Yeah, I was going to say all of this is like just such white man thinking.
Oh my God, I know, right?
Such white man thinking.
I know.
Especially rich white man thinking.
Oh, yes. This is rich man. This is white man with way too much time and money on his hands thinking.
Who doesn't want to face mortality.
Yup. But also, one of Edison's later inventions was the spirit phone, a communication device that would supposedly allow the living to talk to the dead. Also from Forbes, because this article is incredible.
Quote, I have been at work for some time building an apparatus to see if it is possible for personalities which have left this earth to communicate with us. If this is ever accomplished, it will be accomplished not by any occult, mystifying, mysterious, or weird means, such as are employed by so-called mediums, but by scientific methods. End quote. Because what you're doing is not weird.
Yeah.
Totally normal, totally above board, totally scientific.
Yeah. We're just talking to the dead. Shut up.
Yeah. Just building an apparatus to talk to the dead. I don't understand what's so hard about that.
Not like these mediums, which just use their bodies as the apparatus.
Gross. These ladies, because most of them were women.
There was only one prototype of the spirit phone, and it disappeared like 90 years ago. But Edison and his inventor buddies, one of whom may have been Ford, reportedly tested the spirit phone out. And you can learn way more about it on the Haunted Objects podcast. They did a whole 4-part series on things to communicate with the beyond. This isn't about Edison, so we're not going to do that. But I highly recommend the episode. Anyway, Greenfield Village and the Henry Ford may be filled with all of these historic items and buildings in an attempt to provide a safe space for your reincarnated Ford and friends to meet up and prove the theory they also eagerly believed in.
Sure, why not?
I wish that I remembered so much more of the conversation I had with that guy. Recording it would have been ideal, but I doubt he would have agreed to something like that. He talked a lot about his time and like the higher up, like in Mount Weather and all stuff like that. Oh yeah, I do remember him talking about the ghosts that are at Mount Weather that are on several CCTV recordings.
Yes.
I remember that part. But
I remember that too.
This is basically it for Greenfield Village. It is designed to be a vortex to draw back for a place for Ford and friends to meet up in their reincarnated lives and remember and hang out, I guess.
Yeah. I have heard of using like essentially trigger objects.
Yeah.
To bring back past life memories. Also just general memories. I mean, I believe they do that with people who have like traumatic brain injuries.
Oh, for sure.
To try to trigger these things. So this is a long time way of thinking.
Yeah.
I can understand if you're believing in reincarnation and you want to remember your life to, okay, well, let's set up an environment that I can come to in my future life with my amnesia that will trigger the memories of this life, my past memories. I understand that. I get that.
Yeah.
It's a little wild that someone so famous and so rich and powerful did that, like for his buddies, if that's true,
and built an entire village for it.
Yeah. And it, because what they've they kind of say now, oh, he did it to preserve American history. But when you look at like what he collected, it's a little of like, well, why did he collect the things that he did?
Yeah.
Like Edison's lab, I can understand wanting to preserve that because he like worshipped Edison
Yeah.
and thought he was, you know, one of the best Americans ever. Um, and the Wright brothers,
Yeah.
like, okay, they invented flight, but he would have known exactly what flight would become. He had faith,
Yeah.
I think, when he bought the property. Like the Daggett farm, I'm not really sure why that
Not
was
sure
purchased,
why.
other than like we said last time, super old.
Yeah.
I can't remember some of the other properties, but I mean, this theory could explain why he made a lot of the purchasing decisions that he did.
Yeah.
So yeah, really interesting, and definitely the next time I go, because we really need to go.
I know.
you need to see it.
I gotta go to Greenfield Village. This is
you know,
crazy.
I'm definitely gonna have different thoughts. I'm gonna see it in a different way.
Yeah.
You know, with this knowledge. But it's a really cool place, especially if you love history. Like, my God, if you like history, you have to go.
Oh yeah.
It's a must go.
Yeah, for sure.
And we went during Christmas, and that was really fun. Halloween, I would love to go back for Halloween. And I went once in the summer to see an old timey baseball game.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And that was kind of fun because it was different.
Yeah.
I've been to a professional baseball game today as well, and it's totally different.
It's probably way more fun than
it was
modern
just
baseball.
it was more like when I was in Little League, but even that was a little structured.
Yeah.
A little more structured. But it's fun, and I like that they do different things. Like the Halloween is awesome because I love Halloween.
Yeah.
And the Christmas is fun because it's just so like quaint is kind of the word I want to use.
Yeah, and festive, and it feels like if you just need a little lift in your spirits for the winter season, that everybody you can go get a little bit of holiday cheer.
Yeah, it's almost like stepping into one of those old greeting cards, those old Christmas cards.
Yeah.
And it's you don't have to worry about it being cold. They have fires set up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really need to get warm, you just go into the place where they have the glass blowing. That'll warm you up. That'll warm you up quick.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I've only eaten at the tavern once, and that was like, oh God, I don't even know how long ago. Probably close to 20 years.
Yeah.
15 at least. So yeah, it's fun. Be prepared to spend money. It's not.
Oh yeah.
It's not cheap, but you can easily spend a day at the village and a second day, I think, at the museum.
Oh yeah, which is why I've only been to the Henry Ford. We didn't.
Yeah, it would be difficult to do both in one day. You could, but I think you'd miss out on a lot.
You'd miss out. But for now, when you visit these museums, remember that somewhere lurking around could be the reincarnated Henry Ford looking for something or someone familiar, and how funny it would be to really fuck with him and tell him about all his other past lives from Prophet's book. That'd be absolutely great.
Oh, man. I don't know if anyone has ever claimed to be the reincarnation of Henry Ford, because, people claim to be the reincarnation of famous people all the time.
All the time, yeah.
All the time.
Well, other people claim that Elon Musk is the reincarnation of Henry Ford.
I feel like that's probably not something Elon Musk would really entertain.
I don't think he would even understand it.
He's very literal. I mean, he is autistic, and he definitely has that analytical, straightforward facts kind of a brain.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that he might think was funny, but then just be like, whatever. I think he'd probably dismiss it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, all of those articles framed both of those people in a good light. This wasn't like a comparison between the two, how we might compare them.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fair to compare them in all different ways, because both rich, both white supremacists. Yeah. It is an interesting comparison, actually, because people keep saying, oh, he's our Henry Ford. I'm like, yeah, but do you really know Henry Ford?
Right, obviously you don't if you're saying that.
Like, do you really know
no, you don't.
Saying? Like, yeah, Henry Ford is one of those guys that people, especially in Michigan, tend to not exactly worship, but kind of. Like, he's just held up as this ultimate.
He's definitely an idol.
I mean, even in his times, like, people criticized him. They acknowledge, like, yeah, he's done some amazing things for us, because he absolutely has.
Right.
But he certainly wasn't a saint.
Oh no.
He was a terrible father.
Yeah.
to say nothing else, like that alone. Like, yeah. So did he do great things for us? Sure.
Yeah.
Was he a great person? No, not really. No, he really wasn't.
Not at all.
He's probably a little bit of a sociopath. And I
Uh-huh.
don't mean that as an insult. I mean that literally.
Right. Factually, he was probably a sociopath.
Yeah. Well. Yep. So that's it. Thanks for listening.
That's all.
Yeah, it's a bit of I don't know if it's a departure from what we normally talk about or not. We certainly talk about weird stuff. If you want to chat, more about strange theories, definitely email us at contacthauntedmitten@gmail.com. Because I feel like these are some conversation starters for you.
Oh yeah.
If not with your next party, be like, hey, did you know Henry Ford believed in reincarnation?
And then just dive in from there.
Just go right in. We're great at parties. I just want to say.
I do usually get asked a question that I'm like, you don't want my answer to this.
Yeah, this happens at work all the time where I have to stop and think. I'm like, oh, where do I want to go with this answer?
Yeah.
Like this poor innocent coworker thinks they're asking me something innocent, and my answers are just, wait, it's a deep dive. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But also, if you have any weird stories about Ann Arbor, perhaps, let us know. We know you have some. I've talked to people. I know they have some.
Send us the stories. We need them.
Send us our weird Ann Arbor stories. You can find us online at Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and Blue Sky at Haunted Mitten, so you can contact us there. I'm at Crysta K. Coburn. Kay is at K. Gray Writes. And check out LynBDesigns, our lovely sponsor of many seasons. I have new nail polish. You can see it in the video.
I got some on too.
Michigan Triangle, baby.
Carrot magic. It's mine.
Oh, nice. Nice. We got like 5 for Christmas. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody stay safe out there. Be weird.
Stay weird. So I want to end tonight with a quote from Henry Ford.
Quote, I don't know anything about the end of the road. We're a long way from any ending, but we shall get what we deserve. We all get what we deserve. End quote.
Here's hoping, Mr. Ford. Happy haunting.